Hello everyone, welcome to Let's Learn with Fauzia. So in this video, we are going to see about the basic elementary signals which are used for testing the system behavior. So let's get started. The elementary signals are also called as the standard signals or test signals. So why it is called so? Means these signals are applied to the unknown systems to know the behavior of the systems. So we are having one system. When you apply elementary signals here from the response of the system, we can able to predict the behavior of the systems. So some of the basic elementary signals which are used for the analysis of the systems are unit step function, unit ramp function, unit impulse function, unit parabolic function, sinusoidal function, exponential function, or I can call it as a signals. Okay. So the first one is the unit step function. So unit step function has a constant magnitude and exists only for the particular time. So constant magnitude, we can say if it is unit step function, the magnitude will be 1 or unity. So mathematically, this unit step function is expressed as u of t equal to 1 for t greater than or equal to 0, 0 otherwise. Graphically, it can be represented like this. It means at positive time interval, the magnitude of the function is 1. Okay, this is u of t. When the magnitude is other than 1, we call it as a step function. That is, step function which is having the magnitude other than 1, that is a, for t greater than or equal to 0, 0 otherwise. So how it can be graphically represented is, so this is the step function which is having the magnitude a. Next one is the unit ramp function. So unit ramp function, it increases linearly with time. So how we can represent it mathematically as r of t equal to t for t greater than or equal to 0, 0 otherwise. And graphically it can be represented like this. That means t r of t, and it varies linearly with time. That is, at time 1, magnitude is 1, time 2, magnitude is 2. Likewise, it can be related. Now we have a relation between unit ramp and unit step function. That means unit ramp r of t is related with unit step u of t by this mathematical relation, r of t equal to t into u of t. So now when you integrate unit step function, you will be getting the ramp function. That is, when you integrate u of t dt, so u of t is equal to 1, we will be having dt. So the function is t, which is nothing but your r of t. Similarly, if you differentiate ramp function, you will get the step function. That is, integration of unit step, you will be getting the ramp function, and differentiation of ramp function, we will be getting the unit step function. And the next one is the unit parabolic function. So it is also called as the unit acceleration signal which starts at t equal to 0. So mathematically it can be given as p of t is equal to t square by 2 for t greater than or equal to 0, 0 otherwise. And graphically it can be represented like this. So this one is a p of t, and graphically it will have the parabolic function. Okay, so we can write this parabolic function p of t as t square by 2 into u of t. So this is the relation between the parabolic function and the unit step function. And also, when you differentiate the parabolic function, you will be getting the ramp function. D by dt of p of t is equal to d by dt of t square by 2. So you will be getting the 2t by 2, which is equal to t, is the ramp function. Similarly, when you integrate ramp function, we will get the parabolic function. So at the conclusion, we can say when you integrate unit step, we will be getting the ramp function, and when you integrate this ramp function, you will be getting the parabolic function. Similarly, when you differentiate the parabolic, you will be getting the ramp function, and when you differentiate the ramp function, you will be getting the step function. This is the basic relationship between this unit step parabolic and the ramp functions. The next one is the impulse function. So this impulse function is used to model certain events. So this impulse function is physically not realizable. It is usually represented as del of t. So we can mathematically express this as del of t equal to 0 for t not equal to 0, and it is greater than 0 for t equal to 0. Or in diagram we can represent like this: t del of t. So it is having value only at t equal to 0. The next one is the exponential function. So the exponential function is represented like this. It means x of t equal to a e power alpha t. So here a, alpha both are real functions. Real functions. So when alpha equal to 0. So what will happen to this function when alpha equal to 0? So x of t will become a. So in diagram we can represent like this. So it is having the magnitude a. Now when alpha is greater than 0. So what will happen? Alpha is greater than 0. We will be getting the exponentially increasing signal. Okay, we will be getting the exponentially increasing signal. Now when alpha is less than 0, so we will be getting exponentially decaying signal. So this is how the signal will look like at the different values of alpha. So at alpha equal to 0, this exponential function will have a constant magnitude. When alpha is greater than 0, we will be having exponentially growing signal, and when alpha is less than 0, we will be having exponentially decaying signal. The last one is a sinusoidal signal or sinusoidal function. So a continuous time sinusoidal function is given as x of t equal to a sine omega t plus theta. Okay. Here a is the amplitude of the signal, omega is the angular frequency, and theta is the phase of the signal. And so in graphically we can represent this signal like this. So it extends from plus infinity to minus infinity. Okay. Thank you.